Mike, Mad Dog Magnati, thank you very much for tuning in today. I've got a really cool show. Been looking forward to this one. But just a story. You want a story back from my police days? Yeah, okay. I arrested this guy once, okay, and I had to actually go to court to testify. So I'm there with the guy, and the guy stands up, and the judge looks at the guy and says, "I thought I told you I never wanted to see you in my courtroom again." And the guy said, "Yeah, I know. And I tried to tell this cop, but he wouldn't listen to me." You can laugh if you want to.
I'm waiting for the funny part.
Oh, well, you can tell how this interview's going to go tonight. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff, got a good show. Going to take a quick break, come right back. Stick around. We'll see you in a minute.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Okay, we're back, and I'm very proud and honored to welcome His Honor, District Court Judge John Boland, was here with me today.
John is fine, thank you, Mike.
Okay,
it's a pleasure to be here.
It's just, it makes me feel good. Here, I'm talking with a judge. For me to say Your Honor or call you Judge,
yeah,
I'm just doing that to make myself feel important.
As long as we understand your motivations.
Oh, sure. No, I got no
An
problem
honest
with
man
that.
through and through.
Yeah. So, you have been just elected. It was almost a year ago.
Almost 2 years.
Okay, how's it been?
Oh, it's been fantastic.
You really are enjoying it?
I love it. It's incredibly busy, but it's so important. I take each day with paramount importance that each individual has probably never seen me before, might have never been to court before, and this is going to be an experience that they're going to remember forever. And so these are very important moments.
That's important to remember.
I take that serious every day.
Yeah.
I am really humbled by the position that the public has elected me to and put me into. And I'm going to take that responsibility very seriously. I'm going to do my very best every day with every issue.
Okay, now what type of law did you practice before? And I'm leading up to something here.
Yeah.
But,
So I was a general practice litigator in private practice.
Okay.
So I did criminal law. I did a lot of civil litigation, personal injury, civil rights, wrongful termination, divorces, those sorts of things.
And you enjoyed that.
I did.
And that's why you got it.
I was very happy practicing law. I thought that's what I would always be doing.
Okay, so how do you feel now that you're doing, even though it's still lawyer work, it's still something completely different
Yeah.
than what it was the issue we used to talk to cops about when they want to get promoted? You know, I mean, you're giving up a lot of what you love about the job to do something different. So
It's true. So the advocacy side of being a lawyer, to come in guns blazing, here's my research, and really argue something passionately to the court.
Right.
I always enjoyed that, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed the same thing to a jury, arguing, trying to present my case, my spin, my way. This is just different. It's not better or worse, but you have to be so much more prepared.
Yeah.
Because I have to know both sides. I have to know the law behind, maybe they're not citing the right law. I have
Sure.
to do that research. I have to know where it ultimately should come out, all before I show up to court and I hear those presentations. So I am fully educated and briefed on the case and the issues. It's a very different but ultimately equally enjoyable position for me to be in.
Now, that's a question I always wanted to ask. What actually do you do if you've got a case coming before you? What preparation work do you do? I mean, do you? I don't know if you read police reports or if, and I'm talking about the criminal side, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much do you look at before?
So it depends on the hearing of the case.
Okay.
So if it's, I have everything in my file. So if it's a first appearance, I will have reviewed all the police reports, reviewed the statute, the citing document, everything. Because I have to find at their first appearance if there's probable cause for the charge to go forward.
Right, right.
So was it cited right? Does the citation apply to the facts? Do those facts establish probable cause? At future hearings, a lot of those are scheduling hearings, so lawyers are saying any time or I need to brief this issue or set a hearing for this. So on those, the preparation is I look at every case and where are we at in the case, what's happened before, what's probably going to happen next. And then it's for motion hearings, like we were talking about. You read everything, you research everything, you understand the issues, you prepare questions for the parties, you anticipate evidence. Sometimes I'll have questions of my own for witnesses at motion hearings.
And you are allowed to do that as a judge.
Yes.
I mean, you rarely see it.
I think it happens more in district court than it does in superior court.
Okay.
It's a little bit Wild West in district court. I mean, we deal more
as
with
a cop
individuals.
who used to be in district court, I know. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
See, that's the story you should have led with this morning. You should have gone the Wild West Magnani days in court.
No, because none of them have happy endings. You know, my Superior Court stories, because I think never.
That's okay.
Mike, shut up. Bite your tongue.
Let's
we'll talk about that another time.
Analyze it this way. All the movies that win Academy Awards, they're not happy endings. So they're the ones that people really remember.
Yeah.
So
right.
you were doing good work.
That's true. Okay.
Right.
I did try. I really did.
I will say this. I prep days before the day's calendar. And so I'll usually prep a whole week before for the oncoming week. And I have up to 150, 170, even 180 hearings in a day. Wow. So I have to prep all of that. And on those days that are loaded, you'll notice I barely made it here in time. I had 30 cases this morning at 9 and 9:30.
And
I had to finish and
I know
run
you're
in.
married, but I checked to make sure you had a wedding ring. I'm going, what does his wife think about this?
She loves it. I'm out of the house. She has the place to herself. So I prep everything, and then I do a second prep the day before to see if things have been filed or if things have changed. People think, oh, it's such an easy job. You just sit up there and you make a call and you move on.
Yeah.
There's so much work behind the scenes and preparation behind the scenes if you want to do it right.
Right.
Could you show up and just wing it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That would be an absolute disservice to everyone in court, and you'd be breaching your duty to the public. So that's never what I will do.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. What's been challenging? Has anything come up that you didn't expect? I know you researched that. I know you know. I know you just didn't look at a district court judge and say, oh, all he's doing is sitting up there making decisions. I can do that. So.
What's challenging? A couple things. One, it's when it's a real sympathetic issue.
Sure, yeah.
Where it's someone that just can't get out of their way. They keep on, like repeat DUIs.
Yeah, yeah.
Guy's an alcoholic. Yeah, DUIs are serious, but there's mandatory minimums. So if you get a first or second or third, there's mandatory minimums for jail, for house arrest, for fines and fees.
Sure.
There's some real sad cases where, yeah, you did it, and it's clear you did it, and there isn't a defense, but I see that you're struggling and you're trying, you just can't kick this addiction.
Right.
Those are really sad cases to have to say, well, you're going to jail for 180 days.
Sure, yeah.
I hate to have to do that because you can see the humanity in the person.
Right.
But at the same time, if the guy's drinking and driving, and if he hits someone and they die, that's so much
Yeah,
worse.
Exactly. I mean, and you have a responsibility too. I mean, it's just, yeah.
So those are interests you have to balance. You have to balance the need to punish and protect versus the need to have compassion and understand the situation this human being is in.
Yeah, I used to do mental health work in the jail. And yeah, let's face it, there are some people that just need to be there. But there are other people that a lot of it's just personal tragedy for them,
Yep. And it's too often that our jails are the result, that's where we put people who can't seem to function in society because of other issues that they can't seem to beat.
And unfortunately, sometimes, I mean, I was working a mental health client once. The family asked me to because their relative was in jail. And, they said, we asked for help and he gets arrested. And I said, well, this is going to segue into what we're talking about. I mean, there was no other option. I said, if the cops and the lawyer and the prosecutors hadn't taken action, this was a potential for very serious outcome, which he would have been responsible for. Now, yes, I know he needs help, and jail is not always the right help, but sometimes it's the only option.
It could keep them from a far worse result, which could be overdose, which could be some sort of an altercation or assault or something else. So, should it be the only option? No, but sometimes it's a step that has to be taken to protect that person from themselves.
Sure. I remember back, there was, a person I'm still friendly with, but two old-time cops. A gal had overdosed here in Wenatchee years and years ago. And this other gal was friends with her, and a wonderful woman, love her to death, but she was caught up in the demon possession of addiction, you know. So these two older cops, friends of mine, went out and deliberately arrested her, and Judge Tom Warren, who I'm sure you remember, said, this is not going to happen again, 6 months. Kept her in there through the whole winter, gave her time to get clean and that kind of stuff, and it was... Okay, so Judge Volan, there is a new program that we are instituting, you are instituting, that you have this vested interest. This is your baby, right?
It is.
Tell us about that. I know there was an article in the paper about it, but...
Yeah. So I've been working to put together what's called a therapeutic court program. It's going to be called Community Court. And the idea is to take people who are in the criminal justice system who, because of some sort of an addiction or other issue, it's leading to criminal behavior. And they want to acknowledge that, acknowledge the responsibility and accept accountability for what happened that was wrong, but they want to treat the issue.
Okay.
So the idea is, if the person qualifies, then we can get them help and therapy, and they come and see me on a regular basis for 12 months or 24 months. And if they're successful through the program, hopefully we've dealt with the issue that has brought them here in the first place, like the DUI driver who can't stop drinking. Like the individual who's suffering from mental health and drug abuse, and the issues are causing acceleration in each other.
This isn't just dealing with people with substance abuse. This is people with mental health issues.
Substance abuse, mental health, veterans issues, domestic violence issues. I'm trying to cast the broadest net possible to help the most people appropriate in the community. So that's why it's called community court and not just a DUI court or a drug court or a mental health court. Because first of all, I want to help as many people as possible. But secondly, it's often not just one issue. You know from looking at domestic violence reports, there's almost always drinking or substance abuse going on that lead to that incident. So you can't just treat one and not treat the other. So my hope is, ultimately, in a criminal context, what's the job of the judge? It's to, over time, both protect the community by punishing, but also to protect the community by limiting future crime.
Okay.
Whether that's by punishment or whether by that's help through probation, that's a different question. And then it's ultimately, how do I help this individual break this cycle, if there is one, of recidivism?
Okay.
So therapeutic court, if I can treat the issue, get someone out of the criminal justice system and contributing to society, man, that's a win.
Okay, very much so. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, now we're talking with Chelan County District Court Judge, the Honorable Judge Volin. He has implemented a new program called Community Court. I refer to it as therapy court, okay, which I don't think is necessarily inappropriate. But we need to take a break. We're going to get more about this program in a minute. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff, you stick around. We will be right back. So.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCW Life app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCW Life app now.
Hello, Tres tickets, please?
Oh, the Discovery Center is free to visit.
So you're telling me we could look at the fish for free?
Yep, that's free.
But how much is it to drive the steamboat?
Todo es gratis.
So you're telling me that we could go play on the playground?
Still free.
It's free.
Exactly. Gratis, gratis, gratis. The Discovery Center at Rocky Beach. It's free.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Street Talk and other stuff, talking with District Court, Chelan County District Court Judge John Volin, starting a program called Community Court.
Yep.
I've called the Therapy Court.
Which is an appropriate name. Okay. They are therapy courts.
Okay, so tell us about this idea. Where did it come from? What does it encompass? How does it work?
Sure.
You know.
So, must have been 20 years ago in other jurisdictions practicing in criminal law. I was involved in other kinds of therapy courts. So they've been around since the 70s.
Okay.
They didn't really get popular and really start to gain momentum until the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. And now in Washington, they're very popular, especially in district courts. And so there's actually, there are judge committees, statewide committees for certain topics.
Sure.
And I'm on 4 or 5 of those, and one of them is the therapy court community, which are the judges who are leaders in the therapy court community and district court statewide, or district and municipal court statewide. So it is something that is prevalent, but has never been in district court. Superior Court has a drug court, but since most illegal drugs were defelonized, now they're district court cases.
And so gosh, I never even thought.
Yeah, so much of the drug court population, they lost that kind of caseload.
Yeah.
And now the ones that are felonies are with intent to deliver.
Yeah.
Usually those aren't people that are appropriate for a therapeutic court.
Right. You get up to that level, you're
probably you've chosen a path. There's a decent chance.
Yeah.
And so it's gained popularity, and there's a lot. The legislature has put out millions of dollars earmarked just for therapeutic court programs.
Okay.
And so it was always my intent to, if the voters wanted me to do the job, to start a therapeutic court.
Okay, so when you ran for judge and planned to get the job, this is one of your agendas.
It was one of my messages that
Okay.
this is something I think the community needs and can benefit
All right,
the community,
good,
and I feel
good.
passionate about it. Too much of the cases that I see are caused by something.
Yeah.
It's rarely a intelligent, highly functioning person in society who just says, yeah, I'm going to go and commit crimes because that's awesome. They struggle with drugs.
There are some people like that.
There are.
And I'm glad you're not running into too many of them.
Don't want to speak in absolutes. But so often there's a mental health issue or a drug issue or a substance abuse issue or something that's cultural that leads to a belief that something like domestic violence or it's a trauma issue like a veteran. So it's more often than not that there's some sort of an issue that's leading to this.
Okay. Okay.
And I just think the judiciary owes a duty to do more than just simply punish and say you're going to jail or you go to probation and then never see you again.
Yeah.
I need to be involved and to help and to try and lead and encourage if I can and if someone's open to the idea.
Okay.
And so I sat down. So the Supreme Court has said that the first step to get into a therapy court, the prosecutor has to screen and say yes.
Okay.
So they're the gatekeepers.
Okay.
Robert Sealby's been fantastic in this process. He's really helped and worked with me.
Robert Sealby, Chelan County.
Chelan County prosecutor.
Prosecutor, right.
We're lucky to have him. He's
Yeah.
a great elected official. He's worked with me on this and he supported my efforts. So first they go through him to see if you're an acceptable candidate or not.
And how do they determine that? Is that just something the prosecutor's attorney's office looks at, or do they bring in potential mental health people to do an assessment, or?
Yeah, great question.
Okay.
So the initial application, the defendant and defendant's attorney file a short, sort of informal, confidential application to the prosecutor.
Okay. Okay.
Prosecutor reviews, looks at the facts of the case, the record, sort of the gestalt of the individual
Sure.
to see if, yes, this is someone who looks like they want to turn over a new leaf, or this is someone who's probably just doing this to try and get out of potential consequences, and we don't think it's genuine or appropriate. And then if they're approved, then they go and get an evaluation from the appropriate institution.
Okay.
So Catholic Charities has agreed to participate with us.
Okay, good.
The center has agreed to participate with us. Dr. Chacon has agreed to participate.
Right.
So we have a number of individuals as our primary evaluators that are fully supporting this.
Okay. Okay.
Really lucky to have them.
Yeah.
So we send them for an evaluation. The question is if they're appropriate for this sort of alternative program or not. And if the evaluation comes back and says, yes, we think that they have this issue, it's legitimate, it leads to potential criminal activity and they could benefit from this treatment, then we sort of round table it with everyone who's in the group, which would be the judge, the prosecutor, defense lawyer, someone from probation.
Okay, now are these actual physical meetings? I mean, because it sounds like this is taking quite a bit of time. Are you doing this remotely and considering a number of cases at the same time? I can't see you doing a meeting like that for every case that comes up.
Traditionally, it's been done in person.
Okay.
But I agree with you. And as I'm putting this together, people are like, wait a minute, this is going to take so much time.
Yeah.
So I made it clear that we can do this virtually.
Okay.
We can even do it by essentially email chains. Like these are the people coming up this week. These are the issues. Do we need to talk about anyone? Is anyone approved? Do we need to address any disciplinary issues? Those sorts of things.
Okay.
So through my time, I'm trying to limit everyone else's time to make sure that we can have a program that's viable and doable for everyone.
Right, and then the practice will be worked out probably as you go.
Since
to
it's,
some degree.
Yeah,
I mean,
since it's brand new, there's going to be unanticipated issues, speed bumps.
Okay.
And I want to be flexible and make sure that it's a workable, sustainable court process for everyone.
Okay. All right, so I come before the court, right?
What did you do, Mike? What did you do?
For whatever reason, Rosie calls up and says, I don't like his attitude.
All right.
Okay?
Well, I mean.
And there's obvious mental health issues here. Okay, what's the process for me? You go through this process and they say, yeah, we have doubts that this guy's redeemable, but let's let him into the program.
So many issues that if I wasn't judicial, I could comment
talk
on
about,
at the moment, but I'm going to have to recuse myself from opinions.
Okay, so what? how does where do I go from there? What happens?
Yeah, so case begins, you get a lawyer, the lawyer talks with you about your options and explains this is the program.
Okay.
It's a commitment.
Okay.
So
but do I have to say, yes, I did it?
So what you have to do, if you're approved, you essentially are waiving all of your constitutional rights to your speedy trial, your trial, your right to put up a defense.
Right.
You're saying, I'm going to enter the program.
And giving up these rights is in your benefit.
It's a choice you're making.
Yes, okay.
So you can go one of two ways.
Right.
You can have your trial. You absolutely have that constitutional right. But if you want to enter the program, then you have to essentially take responsibility and choose this other path.
Okay.
Then the stick to the carrot here is if you're unsuccessful and if the group decides you're not going to graduate and to expel you from the program, then I, as the judge, will simply look at the police reports and determine innocence or guilt.
Okay.
So since I'm not, and the defendant has agreed to that.
Okay.
And so since I'm not hearing any defense, I'm not hearing the other side of the story, no one's arguing against it, 99% of the time, that means a guilty finding.
Okay, so we better have good police reports.
Well,
let's have good police reports, please.
If you didn't from the beginning, then that's an issue, because I've looked at it from day one.
Okay.
We're lucky, though. Law enforcement here, they really do a good job.
No doubt.
They do a good job.
Okay. Okay, so have you actually started? Do you have people in the program yet?
Everything's ready.
Yeah.
I've got the administrative order for me to sign starting the program.
Okay.
All the forms are done, all the handbooks, policies and procedures, all that, everything's ready. I'm going to get a final okay from prosecutor's office here shortly.
Okay.
And then I'm going to round back with the providers, make sure all of them are ready to go.
Okay.
But I anticipate we'll be announcing and starting this month.
Okay, great. Looking excellent. Thank you.
And the exciting thing is not just that I build it, but I can pay for it.
That's right, because this is
because I got funding. I got funding from the state. This first year, it's $162,000. So we can pay for time that individuals, because it's additional duties than their normal job.
Sure.
So if the prosecutor is going to do this extra work, who's going to compensate for that?
Yeah,
Same thing for if individuals don't have insurance and can't pay for assessments, who's going to pay for that?
Right.
If I need to get new staff or to send people to training, who's going to pay for that?
Okay.
So we're going to pay for the program too.
Okay, all right. I don't mean to cut you off, but we do need to take a break. Okay, Street Talk and other stuff. We're talking to District Court Judge John Volan about the new community court or therapy court program that's coming up. Very much appreciate his honor being here today, but we need to take a quick break. We're going to come back and say goodbye. So, hey, Street Talk and other stuff. We will be right back. So.
What once was old now is new to the NCW Life Channel. Tune in for Bonanza, Superman, The Andy Griffith Show, The Beverly Hillbillies, The Invisible Man, The Lone Ranger, and The Lucy Show. Check your program guide for classic programming on NCW Life Channel, your local TV station.
Thank you for trusting Abby's Legendary Pizza for 60 years. Your hard-earned money supports hundreds of youth working at our parlors, dozens and dozens of nonprofits and school teams throughout the area. At Abby's, doing good in the neighborhood has never tasted so delicious. Can you smell it? It's not arugula and pear. It's bacon, and cheddar. Yep. Everybody's favorite pizza is back on sale this month at Abby's, loaded with 2 kinds of bacon and real cheddar cheese. Enjoy Abby's September special at a very special price.
Okay, we're back. Street Talk and other stuff. Your Honor, Judge Volan, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for your service, sir. Okay, so Street Talk and other stuff. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week. Hey, Mayor Mike Poirier, Mayor of Wenatchee is going to be here next week. See you then. Bye-bye.
Nice throw. You got a decent arm.
You have a great day. Okay, well, my producer says we still got about 20 seconds, so what's your day going to be like today?
Wow, okay. So I'm going to go back and have more court.
Okay.
And then I get infractions today.
Oh, infractions.
So if you ran a red light, if you got a parking ticket and are really upset about it, I guess you get to come and tell me the story.
Prepare your sob story. Okay. Okay, so I hope nobody shows up that you have to look and say, I thought I told you never to be here. Have a great day.